Right, so I started this about literally a minute ago, but I decided to start recording because it's such an exhilarating thing to be a part of. So the first thing I'm doing here is I've wetted the paper a little bit to create this thing that, watch, you see what happens there? That's what's called a flash blast in industry terms, in the watercolor industry, because it flashes and blasts the color and just bleeds it into the watery pool that I've laid down for it before really starting. Now, I'm cleaning my brush because I don't want to cross-contaminate these colors, even though I'm going towards a more bluish, darker blue, which would be predominant. It would be primary. I mean, it would dominate the green that I laid down, as you can see. These are called jelly blasts. They just kind of jet like a jellyfish or a squirt of any kind of vital fluid might do. And you see, because of the water, the still water that's pooled on the page, there's really quite a lovely sort of blend and bleed that takes place. Now, we're going to get a little bit complimentary here and add some oranges here. I really like the way, I don't know if you can see it very accurately here, but I had to pop a bubble, I'm sorry. I really like the way that it kind of crystallizes outwards like that. It's very satisfying. It's really, there's very little to do. It's kind of like oven baking a meal. It kind of takes care of itself. You just touch and go, touch and go. Don't forget to go after you touch, or else, well, let's not get into that. You'll have to figure out the ramifications of your actions or inactions on your own. That's not why I'm here. So here I'm going to do a little drag here. I'm going to add a little bit more water to these edges, which will also affect, as you can see, it'll move inland. It'll move inward. The troops, they will do damage to the established order, you see. And that's, me personifying these colors moving across the page in a militaristic sense, calling them the troops. It's not uncommon to get these kinds of personifications going in your general. There you go again. In the general experience of working in paint. It can be a very, literally quite a universal experience where themes that are completely unrelated will play out in this. It's sort of, Terence McKenna used to say, realm falls 6 times an hour. Maybe he said 9 times, I forget. But it falls a number of times an hour. And he said you can feel this while you're vacuuming your room. You can feel it in all these seemingly trivial, unrelated things, that underneath there is the fall of Rome. There are these large historical epochs taking place. And you can feel that when you paint, or when I paint as well, that sometimes there's just a kingdom of color and there's these peasant colors yelling out for more rights and whatnot. It's all quite psychedelic, isn't it? So there we go, that's a nice little blot I've got there, but that's not going to be enough for me, is it? So I'm going to take this little piece of paper here, I'm going to clot some of it up, and I'm going to just use it as a kind of organic stamping mechanism to get rid of some of the excess waters and create nice texture here on the page, as you can see. My, oh my, what a nice texture. Have you ever seen something so nice? Well, if you have, good for you. If you haven't, can't say that anymore. Now you've seen it, see? All right. So that was lovely. I'm going to do a little slight embellishment here with a little bit of nice red to drop into the oranges there, to give it a little prismatic presence. And maybe do a little You can see it in the shadow. I'm doing a little tap, tap, tap to give a nice little speckled background there. My girlfriend, she likes to do these things and then take pictures and invert them or put all kinds of filtered elements which quite violently abstract the image, oftentimes towards a positive end, insofar as it is an end. Is there ever an end to this? Abandonment is the end. We abandon our arts rather than finish them. I think Picasso said that, maybe. Who knows? I'm just talking out of my Picasso hole, innit? All right. Also, all brushes are great for this. You see how they can just leave these wonderful texture tracks. Because in the end, all creation, whether it's writing, painting, dancing, it's really just leaving the brain's snail trail behind, you know. It's paw prints of your emotional and intellectual and mental and physical frequency shifts that you've picked up on. So to actually do something that creates seemingly literal tracks or paw prints, well, you just can't beat that. If you can, please put it down in the comments and let me know just how beatable it might be and how you would beat it. I'd like to know your strategy. But as you can see, it's very satisfying to do this sort of thing. I'll hold it up a little bit so you can see a little clearer, or you won't be able to, I don't know. I'm very new to this filming the page thing. Not going to make any judgment calls on it just yet, but I'm sure that in the future this medium will become perfected, or at least will improve, you see. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. If you'd like to see more of it in the future, do let me know, or I just won't do it ever again. So you either encourage or discourage. That's the choice you've got. I hope you make a wise decision. Think of how you would like to be treated. Were you the one putting yourself out there in such a way? And then go about your internet business accordingly. So just for fun, I'm going to dab a little bit of this white in here, see? Just to see how supreme the white really is, and if it can indeed take over or dominate the entire page and take prominence. You know, like I said, it's all very microcosmically inclined. And as you can see, the white is really, you know, it talks a big game, but it's really quite impotent. So look at that. It's muddling things a little bit, turning it into a kind of muddy, brownish purple grey. Not really that exciting, is it? Yep. So that's where that got us. And, you know, don't be afraid to just like follow contours. Don't think about it. Don't think about fucking it up. Just fuck around and find out. Or rather, just fuck it up. Fuck it up. Because why not? What have you got to lose? Honestly, if you don't know what you want to paint or what to paint, just paint. It's a verb, it's an action, you know, and you use paint to do it. So I implore you and invite you to explore and incite. What's the opposite of violence? Creativity, positivity. There. What a beautiful work of art. But, you know, that's not the last of it, is it? I'm just going to keep going, because otherwise I'll regret this later. I'll say, oh, you know what? That actually went pretty well. I should have filled the page, or at least completed the composition. Why did I stop? What was I resisting? Was everything just a test, or is this dress rehearsal being broadcast? You know what I mean? So I'm going to make accordingly my decisions, because I am so enjoying this Raggedy Brushes paw print. They're just like little stamped little frame flame handprints, and I quite enjoy it. It's money, as they say. It's money. We're almost there, so please bear with me. Don't leave me now in the final hour. Not that we still have an hour left here, but it is final, whatever amount of time this is going to take, and I hope that you will be here for it with me. So there we go. What an incredible work of art I've created here, but most importantly, just go forth and enjoy what you do. All right, bye-bye.